Hello, my name is Annabelle Santos, and I'm the CEO and founder of Spa Day. We manufacture all natural, olive-based skin, hair, and body care products. And I started this company because when my daughter was 2, she had severe eczema. And using my background in biochemistry, I was able to formulate products that were really great for sensitive skin and also helps you to have more beautiful, radiant skin.
Fantastic.
We have to lean on our community when we are thrown into this unknown. And I believe that through the years of networking and establishing relationships with organizations like New York Women's Chamber of Commerce, like Wealth, like BCNA, and even our suppliers, our vendors, our friends, our fellow women, I think, if you look to them for support, that's what they're there for. And so I've been very lucky to have cultivated this network of women who are there to listen, to share their ideas, and to help me actually execute. So that's one thing, to find resources like this. And then 2 is really to, do some of that self-correction, some of that finding the truth inside of you that that made you do this in the first place. Why do you have a business? What made you start that? What is it that helps you get up in the morning to do it every day over and over again, even with all the sacrifice and, with all of the, the hazards and risks involved. I think that intention and that passion, that's what you have to draw upon when you're at that moment of, quitting. And I keep going. I had a friend.
When you're thinking of quitting,
Like when you're thinking of jumping. I actually had a friend help me years ago, and she said, "But Annabelle, what would the world be without Spa Day?" And I looked at her, I was like, "You're right. People need what I do, and I'm helping a lot of people doing it. So I will forge on." Because I believe that, I hope that someone asked in the chat, what about new business, new startups? No one's talking about that. I feel I'm here, I'm standing before you in this panel. I've gotten into, Whole Foods and all the things that are really difficult to do, but I still am starting up all the time. I start over and over, and I try new things because it's the process, it's the journey that actually is the most exciting part of this. And every time you grow, you push the boundary a little further. That goalpost is always in the future. So, I believe that I can do it. I believe that all of you who want to do it, all of you entrepreneurs who are like on the brink of like, I don't know if I could do this anymore. If you think that you should do it, then you can do it, And I think that if you can do it, then that means that I can do it too. So I encourage you to go on the journey with me. And then in terms of personal challenges, as a mother, that was a real difficult transition. I have 2 teenage children. They were home 24/7, trying to learn online, which is a difficult task, living in an apartment in Manhattan. They didn't have their athletics to exert some of that energy. They couldn't see their friends. And so dealing with their emotional sanity was also at play. My husband works in a restaurant. He was laid off from his job. And, all of a sudden I saw 6 years of my life kind of in jeopardy. I had to think of a way to survive. And I was determined. To find a way to respond to this pandemic in a very useful way where I can contribute something that I can do. So I developed hand sanitizer. And my hand sanitizer is unusual because I use my olive castile soap as a moisturizing agent in the product. Whole Foods they know my brand, they know me. We have a great relationship. They took it immediately and they launched it into five 5 stores to start mainly because of my limitation and the amount I can produce. And that was based on, I only had 1,000 bottles on hand. And so I quickly applied for grants, applied for loans, trying to find money so that I can buy materials in bulk. And that enabled me to afford to, buy things that I knew if I didn't buy it today, I wouldn't be able to buy it for like a year because the shortage of bottles is that extreme. So luckily I was able to come out of the other end by doing some, day-to-day tactics that I'd like to share with you. And, I learned through all of my years as being an entrepreneur and a mother how to balance life and work, how to prioritize. And I always start with a plan. And I put a plan together for each area of my life, each concern that is of importance for me. And it's not, this, 20-page business plan, but it is a plan. And because I trust the process. I trust that A leads to B, B leads to C, and C goes, forward. And I am pretty disciplined in focusing on what I can control, because that is the only thing that I can do. So far it's worked, although, there are moments where you have to sit yourself down in a comfortable place and just wait and be patient for things to unfold. So I divide my day into small chunks, small moments, and I focus on one thing at a time. And then I string those moments together to get through the day, to complete a task. And, the process of doing that has led to where I am today. And I'm still in this process. I'm still doing this journey. And every day I may have a new plan. These things just keep coming. It's fluid and it's actually really exciting and fun for me. But as I said, I sometimes have to stop and give myself time to allow ideas to emerge, to allow myself the time to think, to be quiet and still. And one example of this is my son just graduated. My son's a junior. He's a junior in high school at Stuyvesant, and we're going through this process of researching colleges. And his personal statement has to include what is his contribution to his community. What will that be? He's applying to elite universities, and everybody's smart, but what is that one special thing that you can add to this world to make it a better place? And he's 17 years old, having to answer this very important question. I remember doing that myself, and here I am at 47. I'm still answering that same question. Who am I? What am I doing? How am I going to contribute? And so I find it, that through all of my experiences, I was able to pivot because that's who I am. I solve problems. I help other people through these solutions. And I believe that if you don't have a choice, if there is no other choice but to succeed, you will. So because it's all about the journey, and I just try to be conscious of everything.
Wow, that was very helpful, I guess, for everyone. I mean, even for me.